Hi everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's morning, Friday morning, Friday the 15th of December, and it's a beautiful day today. Very, very hot. Wasn't so hot when I woke up this morning, but it has got very hot. Now, you'll remember yesterday's, we did this and we completed that. Now, I went shopping yesterday and found two beautiful diaries at Typo. Look at these. Aren't they beautiful? So this is diary like that. Isn't that beautiful? And this black one, and I could not walk past the black one for some reason. It has got that. But let's see if a typing paper covers that. No, it doesn't. Might have to do double. Wasn't prepared for that. But I do have one of these books here. Visual Art Diary. Let's see if the paper, this paper's quite nice for it. I think I'm going to take one of those pages because it's thick paper. That covers that almost. You won't be able to see once we pattern it. And so I'm going to use that paper to do the drawing and stick it in to the diary afterwards. My name is Esther and I love patterning. Here's a few of the works that I've done. And I hope you enjoy what I'm going to do today. Now, if any of you want to listen all the way through, I do chatter all the way through. Just something that I do. But I do tell stories while I'm drawing. So feel free to listen all the way through. I know not many people have the patience to do that. I really don't mind. But the purpose of these is to relax and draw with me. I'll just pop that there first, the line, to see the size, and there. And then we'll see that we do it in a straight line so that when we stick it in, it's perfect. Was just about perfect. Let's see, we'll do it there. There. So what we're doing is, I'm going to do a Zen pattern on this. Stick it into the diary, and it makes a lovely present. My scissors aren't here, I'll just grab them. Thank you so much for my new subscribers and the comments. I absolutely love the comments. Now, because I'm going to be working on this I'll cut it out at the end. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this corner up so that it matches all the corners. You just hold your piece of paper there and draw in your corner. And then when you cut it out in the end, it'll match. Wasn't quite. And the same with these corners. And then I'm going to do my patterning on this piece of paper, which will turn out beautiful. I hope you all grab a piece of paper and join with me. As this is just a relaxing video so that you can slow your mind, which is the reason I do it. My mind is just busy, 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 busy. I'm going to 2 Christmas parties in coming days, and I'm going to be bringing potato salad, which everybody loves. That's what I'm going to be doing. So, let's begin. And I hope you enjoy. Grab a piece of scrap paper, test your pen. I'm going to do the one without the straight lines because it was my most popular video and everybody loves doing it. So we'll begin by just scribbling. So easy. How's that? So that's a beginning. I know it looks crazy, but if you've watched my other videos, you'll see that it's the beginning of something that's going to be beautiful. So I do hope you try it because it really does turn out beautiful. I'll show you this one that I did in my art journal. And that's how it started. It's exactly how it started. So you can see that they do turn out beautiful. And anyone can do it. Anyone can do this. So give it a go and join me. So what we're going to do first is fill in these lines. I'm sad to say that the ink seems to be soaking into this paper. This is not what we want. This is not what we want. I'll continue for a moment, but if I feel that it's soaking in too much, I will redo it with a piece of typing paper. So all I'm doing is going to any corner and softening every corner like that. One thing I failed to mention, if you've just put cream on your hands, do wash your hands first, or got any grease of any kind from cooking or whatever, because if you touch your page with your greasy hands, this pen won't flow over it. And You'll think, and you'll wonder why, but that's the reason, because this ink will not go on a greasy portion of the page. So just give your hands a little wash, and then get rid of that grease. So we're filling in these spaces here so that they don't have any sharp edges. So it's all curly edges, which gives it a beautiful feeling. While you're there, you can go over these lines there, thicken them up. You'll see it just gives it a different feel. We're going to fill all those in. I'll just show you what it looks like when the line is thickened up. It's nice, doesn't it? Now you've got to have a bit of patience while doing this. Take a deep breath. Whoops. Don't rush. And when I say don't rush, I'm talking to myself. Don't rush, Esther. Because that's what I tend to do. Rush. It's best not to rush. So we're just going to the sharp edges here and rounding them off. Any edges that need rounding off, just like that. And you colour in that thing with your black pen. I think it might storm today. There must be a few clouds in the sky. I don't see the sun shining. Sorry about that noise in the background. I've got my washing machine going. I'm not sure if this microphone picks that up, but if it does, I apologize. You can always switch the sound off on this and then put your own music on. But I do like to tell stories while I'm doing this. Oops, don't rush. See, just bleeding into the page a little bit. I'm not happy about at all. But I will continue and see how it goes. If it's not perfect for me, then I will redo this video. And I'll just thicken up these lines while I go. Also, if you have bleeding into the page, it uses up your pen. The ink in your pen just soaks right in. Called bleeding. Not a nice expression, but that's what it does. Bleeds into the page. And you can get paper, bleed-free paper, which is ideal. It's a little bit thicker than this, but it guarantees not to bleed. Perfect for technical drawings or pen and ink, which is what I'm doing now, pen and ink, and it's patterning, or Zen patterning, or Zen tangle, whatever you want to call it. So it looks pretty already with those sharp edges taken away. And look nice. I'll thicken up this line as well. And try not to rush. Don't rush, Esther, don't rush. And that looked beautiful, just like that. And we haven't finished. What happens if you rush and scribble along? You tend to go further than you wanted to, and then you have to fix it up afterwards. Of course, it's easy to fix up, but you see I rushed then. It doesn't matter. Oops, and I rushed again. So that line's thicker than I wanted it to be, but it doesn't really matter because all of these spaces are going to be filled in. And it's going to look beautiful, I guarantee. We have these edges here. I hope you're all learning to relax while you're doing this. Just slows your mind. Well, it slows my mind. Because if I let my mind speed up, my hand speeds up as well. I don't know what that's called, but so your mind controls your body. Well, it's true because as soon as my mind starts to speed up, so does my hand. Doesn't that look lovely? I'm going to go over these lines, make them a little bit thicker before we continue with the patterning inside. Because this is the basis of what you're going to have in the end. I'm going to go and try go slowly along these. But don't worry, in the end it's going to look beautiful. And you're quite allowed to copy everything that I do. My work is not copyrighted. It's just a figment of my imagination as it goes. Some I've seen online, some I haven't. And just go with the flow, whatever you feel like putting down on the day. Bleeding into the page quite a bit. Let's start filling in, and that way put a few more lines here. And I've done that because it was a really big space, which I didn't particularly like, a big space like that. But it doesn't matter what patterns you use. The end result is always spectacular. You'll see. Looks like eyes and a mouth. Let's start with circles. Shall we? We'll start with circles. My favorite thing to do, but I must go slowly. Then you fill in the negative spaces between the circles. You can do circles all the way and then fill in the negative spaces. But I think for this exercise, fill in the negative spaces as I go. I haven't done that before, but just to show you that you can do it as you wish. There's no hard and fast rule as to what to do. Whatever you feel like doing. We're going to fix these edges up, so don't worry about that now. And if a little circle you want to do it, just fill it in if it's not quite right for you. And also find with these pens, whichever pens you have, doesn't have to be special pens. These are my favorite, 2 hands. But whatever pens you decide to use, if you press lightly, you'll find that it'll flow easier for some reason. So try not to press hard, because first of all, more ink will come out, which you don't want to smudge your work. You don't want the ink to come out too fast. And the ink will last longer if you don't press hard. You can fix up the circles as you go. If they're not quite as round as you want them to be, there's no hard and fast rule to what to do. Just do what you want to do. Make that one smaller and make this one smaller. Because the ink is bleeding into this page a little bit, not quite the quality that I would like. Not that I would like, it's not the right way. Just that there's a better quality papers that you can use. Unfortunately, this lets the ink bleed into the page, which is not a situation that I like. Fill in all the white edges there, the background, doesn't that look lovely? Now, as you go, you can fill in the edges. until you're satisfied that the curve is how you would like it. A little fussy, but you don't have to be fussy. After all, it is. The purpose of this is to relax. There. Happy with that? Now, what are we going to do next? You come to all these decisions. How about, and when you can't decide, just go to the next one. So what I'll do is from here. Now that might not look like much now, but it changes. Once you fill in the negative spaces, it just changes into something beautiful. You'll see. So let's fill in the negative spaces here. I'm going to try and keep my videos just under an hour and see if the upload time helps that. And it'll all be part 1, part 2, part 3, and so on and so forth. I'll just reach up and see where it is. 34 minutes. So we've got a ways to go. Oh, I've just heard my machine go off. I'll be a second. Or a minute. Here I'm back. Sorry about that. Just a blouse in with my wash that I don't want to be too creased. I don't use a dryer, I just hang things up. And it works well for me. There's only a few things that do need a little bit of an iron. You see, the magic happens when you fill in the negative spaces. It's such fun. And sometimes it's a surprise to see the end result. I'll fix up all those edges afterwards. I don't know if anybody listened to my very long video yesterday, where I told I chat along in these videos. So only those that have the patience to sit through it, because it's just when I feel like talking. And it was my trainer's idea for me to do this, because I think I do it when I do training. I chat along and tell him stories and anecdotes and things that have happened in my life. And he said, chat when you're doing it. So it was his idea. Shout out to my gorgeous trainer, Ross Amua. What a lovely name. But he's my trainer, and he's lovely. His wife's just had twins some months ago. So he's on cloud 9, which is wonderful. Anyway, yesterday's stories, in case you don't listen all the way through, is I'm a bit of a skeptic, so I really don't know what I believe in. When you pass away, it would be nice to think that wonderful things happen when you die. Oh, of course, you've got to be a wonderful person for wonderful things to happen. But I just put this piece of paper underneath because my hand's a bit damp and I don't want to ruin anything or smudge anything. Anyway, let me get back to this thought. So if there's such a thing as heaven, I dearly hope there is, because I've got a lot of relatives waiting for me, my mum and dad. I've got my stepmum here, but my mother that I had until I was 17, she's there, dad's there. I have 2 brothers there and 2 sisters there. So they're all there, and I hope they are, because wouldn't that be fabulous? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to fix up all these edges so that they're nice and clear. And if there is such a thing as heaven, which I hope there is, and if there's a pathway that you have to walk down to get there, I can imagine what I was imagining the other day, what I was hoping would be brilliant was to have a welcoming committee of animals. I'm walking down a forest path, beautiful green forest plants and trees, and just beautiful. And on each side of the path, just waiting, calmly waiting for me to walk past, give them a pet. They'll all be friendly, of course. Lions, tigers, bears, antelope. You can stop as you walk, stroll. It's just a slow, lovely walk to the gates. I'd stop by this lion and say, "You gorgeous creature. I've loved you always." And then an elephant and a tiger. Just nuzzle into that trunk and say, hello, beautiful boy or girl. And then you get birds there, and they're just sitting on a branch waiting for you to go past. And they're just your welcoming committee into heaven. Wouldn't that be nice? I think that would be absolutely beautiful. So I thought of that the other night while I was trying to go to sleep. And I thought, what a lovely thing that would be. Have all these gorgeous animals just standing there waiting for me to go past. Gosh, that would be so beautiful. And that would be waiting for me as all my, I have had 2 chihuahuas and a Jack Russell. The chihuahuas were Maya and Shania, gorgeous, gorgeous little boys. Little girls, what am I saying, little boys. And what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to continue that pattern, because that turned out quite beautiful. I'll continue it here. So my gorgeous little chihuahuas will be waiting for me. A little rusty boy, my Jack Russell, who when I got him he was 10, but he stayed with me for 8 years till he got very, very sick, poor darling. But what a beautiful life I had with them. They were just such a pleasure to have. Now I've got a cat, Willow, who's frightened of everything and everybody. I've had her for about 4 years now, but I live alone, and so I have my grandsons over for a visit. And again, my daughter, son comes. The cat's afraid of everybody, so they don't think she's a very friendly cat. Well, they're just scared. I think when I got her, she was 6 months old, and she was a rescue cat, so I don't know what kind of life she had before. She has a beautiful life now. I don't let her go roaming the streets. I have my entire veranda, which is big, is closed off. Had my nephew build a fence around it, and it's a huge, big area. But so she has that, and the whole of my inside in my house, which is pretty big as well. So that is her life. She doesn't go outside because for some reason I have a fear of my cat being killed outside by something. I don't know why. When I was a child, I always had cats, but they roamed around. But I don't let this cat roam around. I'm not going to spend money on a cat just to have her die in the street. I wouldn't like that at all. So she's an inside cat. Very happy. She's got a lot of space to play. So I'm her world. And I love her. It was the sweetest thing happened. I was babysitting my grandson yesterday. And in the toilet, he's 3, by the way. So I went to the toilet and I noticed that the toilet paper had run out. I said, "Oh, there's no more toilet paper." He says, "I get it. You stay here, okay?" Which checks that I've actually understood what he said. "I get it. Okay, you stay here." I said, "Okay, I'll wait here, darling. You go and get the toilet paper." So I went into my daughter's bedroom and took the entire toilet contraption, the toilet paper and the roll, and brought that to me. And he was so proud of himself. It was so, it was so gorgeous. I didn't have, and then so I connected it all up for him, and he was so proud of himself. And I wasn't going to say, no, 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 this is not right. So I just left it at that, fixed it up later. Wasn't that cute? These kids come up with these things. The grandchildren give me such a lot of pleasure. Goodness me. So gorgeous. Doesn't that look gorgeous, guys? It really does. And such a simple thing from a scribble. And this is what happens. It turns out absolutely beautiful. What I'm going to do into this space here, pardon me, I'm going to do a reverse circles. I'm going to do circles like that. And if they don't turn out, I'll do something else. It's as simple as that. But if I can do this, you can do it. Anybody can do it. All you've got to do is grab a piece of paper and a pen. Don't rush. Don't rush. I'm rushing. I don't want to rush. And they're looking lovely. Yeah, How's that, guys? Doesn't that look nice? And then you need to decide what to do. And if you can't decide there, then you continue here. So we've got that area there. Now what I'm going to do, it's similar to this, but you've got pointy ends on that side. I'll show you. I'll show you. Hi, darling. What are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? You've got food. You've got water. That's a big girl. Yeah, I know. What, darling? What, baby? And those are curly. These are straight. And we're going to do some little marks in them. You'll see. Yeah, darling. Baby. What are you telling me? Mm. And then we fill in the negative spaces. So here we go. Nice thing about working in a small piece of paper like this is you can turn it around as you go. My cat could want my TV to be switched on. I sometimes put it on live, like a fish tank or bird bath, or the bears playing, fishing for salmon. Sometimes she watches it, sometimes she doesn't. But when I go out, I sometimes leave the TV on for her so that she can hear some noise. And don't rush, Esther. Otherwise you have to fix things up if you rush. Reach up and see the time. Oh, 57 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the video off and start it again. I'll turn it off.